Admiral Zixthor's four eyes widened in disbelief as the massive shadow fell across his flagship's viewports. The Galactic Empire's most feared dreadnought, the Eternal Dominion, suddenly seemed insignificant beneath the colossal vessel that had just emerged from hyperspace. "Impossible," whispered Commander Veltok, his reptilian features contorting in confusion. "Our intelligence reports indicated that humans possess only primitive vessels. Scout frigates at best." The human battleship hung in space like a sleeping giant awakening from a 1,000-year slumber. Its hull stretched nearly 15 kilometers from bow to stern, dwarfing every ship in the Imperial fleet. Strange geometric patterns covered its surface, pulsing with an eerie blue light that seemed to bend space itself around the vessel. "Sir," the communications officer stammered, "we're receiving a transmission." "On screen," Zixthor commanded, though his voice betrayed his nervousness. The hologram flickered to life, revealing a human female with steel-gray eyes and short-cropped dark hair. She wore no elaborate uniform, no ceremonial decorations, just a simple black jumpsuit with silver insignia. "I am Captain Sarah Chen of the UES Defiance," she said calmly. "You have violated the Terran exclusion zone. Withdraw immediately." Zixthor's mandibles clicked in what passed for laughter among his species. "Human, you are outnumbered 50-1. Your single vessel faces the might of the Third Imperial Fleet. Stand down and prepare for boarding." Captain Chen's expression didn't change. "Admiral, I'll give you 30 seconds to reconsider that order." 30 seconds? Zixthor turned to his tactical officer. "What are their weapon signatures? Surely they cannot match our plasma cannons and quantum torpedoes." The tactical officer's skin had turned a sickly pale green. "Admiral, I'm not reading any conventional weapons, but there are massive energy readings throughout their hull. And, sir," he paused, his voice cracking, "their power output is registering as impossible. Our sensors must be malfunctioning. Recalibrate immediately," Zixthor snapped. "Already done, sir." 3 times. "The readings are consistent." The officer's voice dropped to barely a whisper. "Sir, that ship is generating more energy than our entire fleet combined. By a factor of 10. Through the viewports, the blue patterns on the human vessel began pulsing faster. Space around the Defiance shimmered like heat waves, and nearby asteroids started changing. Their rocky surfaces smoothed and reformed into perfect spheres before dissolving entirely into streams of matter that flowed toward the human ship. What are they doing?" Commander Veltok asked. Captain Chen's voice crackled over the comm again. 15 seconds, Admiral." "Sir." The sensor operator's voice was now tinged with panic. "The human ship is manipulating matter at the atomic level. They're converting the asteroid field into I don't know what. The energy patterns are unlike anything in our databases." Zixthor watched in growing horror as chunks of space debris reformed themselves into sleek, dart-like objects that positioned themselves around the human battleship. Hundreds of them. Thousands. 10 seconds, Captain Chen announced. "Sir, we need to retreat," Commander Veltok urged. "Whatever technology they possess, it's beyond our comprehension." Retreat? From a single human ship? But even as Zixthor spoke, his conviction was crumbling. The Defiance wasn't just a ship, it was a mobile factory, a matter compiler operating on a scale that defied physics as the Empire understood it. 5 seconds. The transformed asteroids began moving, not with the crude thrust of conventional engines, but by folding space around themselves. They didn't accelerate. They simply appeared in new positions, surrounding the Imperial fleet in a perfect sphere. "Time's up," Captain Chen said. What happened next would be debated in Imperial military academies for centuries. The human ship didn't fire weapons in any conventional sense. Instead, reality around 3 of the Imperial cruisers simply changed. Their hulls didn't explode or melt. They transformed. Metal became something else entirely. Something that flowed like liquid while maintaining its structural integrity. The ships folded in on themselves, compacting into perfect cubes before vanishing entirely. "They're gone," the sensor operator reported in a trembling voice. "Not destroyed. Gone. As if they never existed." "This is Captain Chen. Your ships have been relocated to a safe distance outside this system. Your crews are unharmed. Consider this a demonstration of restraint." Her image paused, letting the implications sink in. The Galactic Empire has been operating under certain assumptions about human technological capabilities. These assumptions are incorrect. Admiral Zixthor found his voice at last. What? What are you? We're human, Chen replied simply. 300 years ago, your ancestors drove us from our outer colonies. You believed you were dealing with a primitive species that had barely achieved faster-than-light travel. You were correct at the time. But humans have a peculiar trait, Admiral. We adapt. We improve. We never stop pushing the boundaries of what's possible. The blue patterns on the Defiance pulsed once more, and the remaining asteroid field rearranged itself into a perfect replica of the Imperial flagship, complete in every detail. We've spent 3 centuries in isolation, not because we feared you, but because we weren't ready. We needed time to ensure that when we returned to galactic affairs, misunderstandings like today's would be brief. Commander Veltak was the first to voice what they were all thinking. How is any of this possible? Humanity mastered matter compilation 50 years ago. We learned to fold spacetime 40 years ago. 20 years ago, we achieved controlled manipulation of quantum probability fields. 5 years ago, Chen paused, a slight smile playing at the corners of her mouth. 5 years ago, we learned to be patient. The communication ended, leaving the bridge of the Eternal Dominion in stunned silence. Around them, the transformed matter that had once been asteroids began flowing back to its original positions, reforming into space rock as if nothing had happened. Only 3 words appeared on their communication screen. Welcome to tomorrow. Admiral Zixthor slumped in his command chair, suddenly feeling very, very small in an infinite universe that had just become far more complicated than any of them had imagined. The age of human isolation was over.